Welcome back to Recipot, your gateway to the wonders of silicons. Ever stop to think about why your hair feels so smooth and manageable after using your favorite conditioner? The secret ingredient is often silicone emulsions. Today, we will explore how these clever mixtures transform your hair care products into impactful products for healthy and beautiful hair. Let's dive into the science of silicone emulsions.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Myself, Manju. I am heading the R&D department of Performance Chemical Division in Resil Chemicals. In Performance Chemical Division, we cater into different silicon polymers for different applications like personal care, home care, agro, and industrial like antifoams, lubricants, etc. So today, along with me, Dr. Manisha and Mr. Nitin is joining, and we are going to discuss about emulsions in hair care. I'll give chance for Manisha and Nitin to introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, myself Dr. Manisha Mishra. I have completed my PhD in organic chemistry from the Department of Chemistry, Christ University, Bangalore. So during my PhD, I worked on the synthesis of heterocyclic using different catalysts. So prior to do my PhD, I've also done my MPhil in organic chemistry from the same university. So after I complete my PhD, now it's been 2 years, I'm working as a research scientist in Resil Chemicals in the Department of PCD. So basically, I'm taking care of personal care product development as well as the synthesis part. So we are currently developing the products for hair care. So I'll hand over to Nitin.
Hi everyone. So my name is Nitin. I'm working here as a research scientist. I'm basically a chemical engineer. Here I'm assigned for basically stabilizing a formulation and better incorporation of silicone ingredients manufactured by Dr. Manju and Manisha. So well stabilized, well established, and good fit for every customer.
Yeah. So coming into the discussion, Manisha, so I heard a lot about emulsion. So what do you think about emulsion? How we can define technically about emulsion and how it is impactful in particularly in cosmetic formulations?
Emulsions are nothing but it's a mixture of two immiscible liquids. So kind of a blend let's say oil and water. So they cannot be mixed together even though we mix it in higher the thing. So we need an emulsifier actually to mix them, and because of their polarity difference, they tend to separate. So we need a proper emulsifier which can make them miscible and we can form a emulsion. So nowadays emulsions are used in haircare products like shampoos, conditioners, moisturizers, and there are so many other products like sun protection, everything where emulsions has been used.
Oh, well defined. So I'll give chance for Nitin to explain more about because you're an application development person. So how the emulsions are important in cosmetics as well as particularly in hair care.
So coming to the hair care, development. So I'm speaking about the hair. Hair mainly contains of three parts categorically. So that is a medulla part, cortex part, and the cuticle part. So we will mainly work on the cortex part, and then after cuticle part. So coming to the cuticle part, so the static energy will be more. So we will be talking about stabilizing the energies like charges, negative charge, and replaced with a positive charge using a silicone ions or any conditioning agents. So if I come to my hair care formulation categories, so I look for mainly incorporating a silicone emulsion or a silicone fluid in my product. So very well inversed, which gives a better smoothness and a ease of combing for the customer. So smoothness comes in the fatty acid category and the better ease of combing from the silicone effect. So both are replaced in a capturing the negative charge and with a positive charge over there. So yeah, in case of emulsions, so we also have emulsion like similar to emulsion ready-made silicone emulsion. So usually we use water and oil content, that is fatty acid, as a oil, and we used to stabilize and make it a single product. So silicon itself is an emulsion product, and it will be in appearance will be opaque conditions. We usually make conditions opaque because it should not be a curdy appearance. So it should be a silky feel in the product, also smoothness feel, and touch and feel should be very good.
So you mentioned that silicones you are using in emulsions.
Yeah.
So in emulsions, I know that silicones are really difficult to emulsify. So do you face any challenges when you emulsify, and then how you overcome that challenges?
Yeah, so emulsifying, I take it as a formulation, stable formulation. So, so formulation should be stable in all the different climatic conditions, low temperature, high temperature, and the worst conditions. So in case of shampoos, I use it as in high surfactant concentrations. So as well as polymers. So polymers, cationic polymers, which hold of silicones as well as the surfactants very well format and easily transfer it to the hair cortex, hair follicle. So it forms a thin layer on it, fill forming, wetting agent and fill forming. So which gives a customer very feel on it. So on stability, yes. So after using the polymers, surfactant and the silicones, will be a good formula for us.
Yeah, thanks, Nitin. So going back to Manisha, so there are different type of emulsions, right? Like oil in water, water in oil. So what can you elaborate a little bit on that one?
Yeah, so basically there are two types of emulsion, oil and water emulsion or water in oil emulsion. So in oil and water emulsion, what happens is our oil is the dispersed phase, whereas the water is the continuous phase. But in case of water and oil emulsion, water is the dispersed phase and oil is the continuous phase. So we're coming to the stability wise also, oil and water emulsions are thermodynamically more stable as compared to water and oil emulsion. So in terms of application also, oil and water is more used in as compared to water and oil, because oil and water emulsions are very easy to wash up and it doesn't make the hair feel heavy. It gives a smooth feel to the hair.
So that means in hair care, generally
We use
oil and water emulsions. Okay, so you also mentioned and Nitin also mentioned there are some stability challenges along with the emulsification.
Yeah.
So in technical aspects, how will you handle that issues?
So as I mentioned earlier, so oil and water are two immersible things. So we need to get something to the system which can make these two things miscible. So generally what we do, we use emulsifiers. So emulsifiers has surfactant. So this surfactant, sometimes we use only one surfactant. Sometimes we go for two surfactants also. So surfactants generally has like hydrophilic as well as lipophilic. That is the nature of a surfactant. So which is enhancing the emulsion or the oil and water mix miscible properly and makes a good emulsion. So choosing a proper emulsifier can make the stability issues come down.
Yep.
So we can overcome by using different emulsifiers, suitable emulsifier for emulsion depending upon their HLV values as well. So generally for oil and water emulsions, we go for higher HLV value, whereas in case of water and oil emulsion, we go for lower HLV value.
Okay.
So Manisha rightly explained. So there is similar case for conditioner category. Shampoo has surfactants, but conditioner has only cationic surfactant, which is more towards the fatty alcohol and everything. So we also go for choosing a right emulsifier for better stabilization over there.
Okay, that was the question I was planning to ask you.
Sure.
So is there any a particular type of emulsifier you use? Eventually you will be trying in the different formulations like a shampoo or conditioner. So when you suggest this particular a Resil product or any other emulsion to final formulation, so you suggest any particular kind of emulsifier to go into this particular emulsion?
Yes, we definitely can refer to it. There are two types of emulsifiers. One is natural emulsifier and one is synthetic emulsifier. So natural emulsifier very hard to stabilize. We can use a combination of emulsifiers over there. Dosage mainly matters to the dosage. At what dosage the formula is getting stabilized over it. So low dosage it can be separate with a hard condition like the higher temperatures. With the high dosage and the combination of emulsifiers, formula will be stable over there. So we use combination of stabilizers we can recommend to the customer. So with the Resil silicone with using of these stabilizers, your formula can be very well optimized. So customer may ask about cost also. So we have to work on cost, different type of emulsifications. So in case of shampoos, we don't use emulsifiers, but we use polymers, thickening agents.
Yeah, thanks. Well said. So there are other formats like in hair care, shampoo and conditioner are the general format people use. But there are other formats like gels, creams, mask. So what kind of emulsion those are, and then what kind of emulsifier you suggest to the customer, or when you develop that kind of formats, what is your consideration when selecting any emulsions or any ingredients?
So the texture feel what we come instead of emulsions, I come to the structure. So structure shampoo will be a viscous liquid, so it can be opaque or clear shampoo. So in clear shampoos, using silicone emulsions is very difficult. We prefer for opaque shampoos where we use opacifying agents.
Mhm.
So then coming to conditioner, it's a little bit flowy, so it should be easy to apply in the wet conditions. So that's what we go for a texture feel. So there, the creaming agent we will use very less or no use at all. So then only emulsification very good for that texture and good feel. Then we go for there we use in conditioner as well. We use little bit polymers to make it a feel good for product. Then we go for creams, hair mask. There the creamy texture you need to feel. There the emulsifier plays a very good role, and as a it's a good feel. We use more emulsifier as well as the texturing agents over there. The polymer plus emulsification, the texturing agents will give a good texture, good product feel over there.
Okay, so there are, as Nitin mentioned, so there are different type of formats even in shampoo, like clear shampoo, opaque shampoo. So is there any technological development needs to take care of to satisfy these requirements?
There are two types of emulsion, micro emulsion and macro emulsion actually. So micro emulsions are generally clear, whereas macro emulsions are opaque in appearance actually. So micro emulsions the particle size tend to be range in the 5 nanometer to 100 nanometer, whereas in macro emulsions, the particle size are more than 100 nanometers. So when we consider about the application wise, these micro emulsions or macro emulsions, generally micro emulsions go for the clear formulations, whereas macro emulsions, they go for the conditioning, like conditioners and other benefits which give smoothness to the hair care.
Okay, so this particle size is one of the critical parameter. Yeah, so how it is, means how you maintain that particle size?
So lower particle size, the emulsion is more stable compared to higher particle size actually. Also, the shelf life is also one of the biggest challenge in emulsions, like stability, what we say. So considering the stability, so we go for the accelerated studies, keeping the sample at 50 degrees centigrade. So generally, when the sample is said to be stable at 50 degrees centigrade for over a period of time, so from there we determine what is the shelf life of an emulsion, and that's how we can correlate with the natural aspect as well.
Okay, so Nitin, so you when you develop a final format, so how will you ensure that this product, whatever Resil is developing, the product is suitably going in that formulation, or it's not creating any issue? So what is the background study you do in that case?
Mainly, you rightly spoke about particle size. Particles plays a very huge role in the formulations. So lower particle size definitely give a stable formulation throughout the temperatures and throughout the shelf life. So if particles is very high, so mainly in silicone contents, the lower the particles is, lower the viscosity, higher the particles is, higher the viscosity. So sometimes it will be combination in emulsions. So we need to ensure that the emulsion what we are making in a formulation for better stability, we use mechanical mixing technologies. Mixing technology plays a very crucial role in this case. So we need to use such a mechanical operations like mixing technology. So we break the particle size in the both conditions. So emulsion usually like a water and oil coming together and making a mix. So we need to ensure that the emulsion is happening at the right temperature, right flow, and particle size should be in a uniform phase, matlab in a similar phase. You cannot say exactly phase, similarly. So you run it through a homogenizer where it breaks the particle size of oil content as well as water soluble ingredients and makes a better hold of each other.
Okay. Yeah. So Manisha, is there any product you can refer to the customers that Resil is making as an emulsion? Means you mentioned about different type of emulsion. So if you can give a real scenario.
Okay, so recently we have developed Regishine SE01, Regishine SE02. So when I talk about Regishine SE01, the ink is dimethicone, amodimethic,one lauret 23, polyquaternium 10, and lauret 4. So this is actually a non-ionic emulsion. So it can be used in both shampoo and conditioner. So because the presence of polyquaternium 10, so it gives a very good conditioning benefit to the hair. So it can be also used as a color lock performance also. and you can be used as a wet and dry combing. Benefits also is having Resishine SC01, and it's a 60% silicone which is having. So coming to Resishine SC02, the Enki is dimethicone, amodimethic laureth 23, gluconamido amodimethic and laureth 4. So Resishine SC02 is having gluconamido dimethicone, which is a sugar modified dimethicone. Because of the sugar modified dimethicone presence, it gives very smooth and soft feeling to the hair. So that is incorporated in this emulsion to make the application and beneficial to the hair. It is it is enhancing the activity, and it is penetrating the activity of the ingredients into hair very nicely. We have done various application studies as well for Resicide SC02 in terms of shampoos, conditioners, and we have found that it is having a better performance in terms of freeze control, in overall manageability, and wet and dry combing benefits. So I would suggest that this emulsion will be a very good beneficial when we are looking for hair care products. Yeah, so we have developed Resishine SC03, which is amodimethicone, citrimonium chloride, and tridecate 3 and tridecate 15. That is also, it's actually this emulsion is translucent in look-wise, appearance-wise, and can be used in shampoo and conditioner both. And this also gives a very good smooth, nowadays customers demand we should have a smooth feeling on the hair when we are applying shampoo or conditioner, and it gives an even that soft feeling to the hair.
Okay. So Nitin, when a customer come and ask about this particular attribute, so what you do means in terms of product selection or in terms of your formulation selections?
So when the customer comes to and asks, so we will assess their requirements. So customer comes and asks in different ways. They need glossy, they need shine. So they need less deposition on the hair follicles. They need more deposition on the follicles. They need the bouncy hair. So they need come up with a different formats: shampoo, conditioner, serums, and hair masks, hair creams. So we study the requirements. Then we accordingly, as Manisha rightly said, we'll pitch our products one by one to them. Then we will ask them to use these stabilizers or emulsifiers, these surfactants to the formulation so that better stable throughout the shelf life. If they face any challenge, we are here to work on. So first we will pitch in our silicones. If they face any challenges in formulation, so we will take that as a feedback, and we will work on to the formulation. We will provide them the better formulation with a better feel and better efficacies.
Okay, yeah. So since you have been working in the formulation development for quite a long time, so you'll be knowing some trends in emulsions. So can you suggest, can you explain some of the trends you identified or you noticed or the customer request came? Is there anything you can relate with that?
So we tend to assess the customer very well. So we usually recommend format like choose if they're using sulfate-free formula or sulfated formula. So we usually recommend first pitching is AC02, which is a very good formula suitable for both the conditions. So that's what we do.
Okay, thanks, Nitin. So Manisha, so likewise what we discussed with Nitin, is there any regulatory aspect or such trends in emulsion development, technical development?
So now if we see actually the recent current trend is going on the natural instead of synthetic, their customers are preferring something which is naturally derived or natural based emulsions. So currently we have a product called Resicine SC02, which is in that we have used a surfactant that is gluconamido amodimethicone, which is a naturally sugar based modified amodimethicone. So that natural modified sugar dimethicone has a very good and unique property. We can say that it is giving a soft feeling and smoothness to the hair. So that we have used as a surfactant in preparing the emulsion. So when we say that that is incorporated with the emulsion, that is benefit-wise, if we see, that is more beneficial as compared to the synthetic ones.
Yeah, it's great to see Resil is doing innovative research in hair care emulsion. So I think we almost covered most of the topic about emulsions in hair care. So to conclude this, is there any parting message or suggestions you wanted to give to the listeners as well as the consumers?
So I would my part, my thing will be when we are doing an emulsion, we first thing we need to see the cost and the stability, like how stable it is when we compare to the temperature, when we compare to the natural climatic aspects as well. And we have to see the particle size, and we have to very carefully choose the proper emulsifier which can make a good emulsion. So, and whenever we are using any product, any emulsion, we have to see what are the ingredients that have been used in preparing the emulsion, and what kind of emulsion is it, whether it's oil in water or water in oil. What is the pH of it, whether we can use the particular emulsion for this, what application actually we are looking for, whether it is suitable for that particular application or not. That properly we have to check. And as the trend is going on, now we are the innovation has started in natural emulsifiers, and there are development which is going on in micro emulsions also. So we have to, in future, we have to look into those kind of aspects so that our product can have more benefit or more beneficial to the end product.
Yeah, let's
So very well said, Manisha. So as you mentioned rightly, the emulsion and the stabilization is very well said. So it is nothing far different than silicone and our formulations. So the point you said is choosing the right product. Choosing the right product, how you get it right. So we have combination of products and list of products with a different cost. So we do conduct a panel study, the application part. So panel study, we will filter out based on the panel study. So we are more than the panel study, we have instrumental study. We do for instrumental studies. So we choose a short list of products like silicones and the formats. We are going for testing it in the panels. So it will give some indication like this is product working is good. This product is giving a good in a shine field. This product is good in a ease of combing field. This avoids the frisk and it gives a bouncy. So on an overall aspect, we will consider what customer requires and what is the needed format. We will filter out, we will work on improvement in the formulations. If anything is lagging, we will connect you back. We will improvise the silicone and we will get back to the formulation development. We will make it very stable. We will conduct stability at different temperatures. We do study, assess the first physical chemical parameters. We make a perfect product and we will recommend it to the customer.
Okay, so thank you so much, Nitin and Manisha, and thank you for taking your time from a busy schedule and then explaining about emulsions in hair care. And I learned a lot about emulsions. So thank you so much. And this is Manju along with Dr. Manisha and Nitin signing off. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for today's episode. If our journey into the world of silicone emulsions in hair care sparked your interest, be sure to follow or subscribe for more exciting content. Have a topic suggestions? Tell us what's on your mind and send it on our way, and you might hear it in a future episode. Keep innovating and don't forget to visit resil.com and resilsilicones.com for more insights. Join us again for the next episode.